What's up, guys? I'm Griff. I just wanted to sit down and have a little chat about the state of Deus Ex and where we're at with everything on that. Deus Ex was supposed to have, in 2013, there was this big plan for it to have a Deus Ex universe, and we were going to have constant content added to it, and it was going to be a really, really big deal, and it sounded really promising. Like, I'm a Deus Ex fan. I came in with Human Revolution, so I came in late to the franchise. I thought it was great. I was super pumped. I was super excited for Mankind Divided all the way through the whole augment your pre-order bullshit that happened. I mean, really, that was just a bad idea, but I was still really hopeful for the game, got the game, thought it was okay, and then this past week, Eurogamer ran an article that said there wasn't going to be another Deus Ex anytime soon, which is awful if you played Mankind Divided. And the reason for that is, first of all, Mankind Divided was kind of short, I guess. It felt like you did a lot of running around for no good reason. There were a lot of side quests that left a lot of questions open. The end of the game only answered one of like the 30 things that you had on Jensen's plate while you were playing through it. It just didn't feel like it was ready to be finished. I think it felt that way because that's kind of where it wasn't really supposed to end right there. There was supposed to be another game or set of games, and Square made the call to chop it up. I think Jim Sterling did a piece on it where he had actually spoken to somebody that worked on the game. However, it was all very undercover kind of stuff where there was no source revealed because, nobody wants to lose their job and things like that. But basically what they'd covered was that the game was supposed to be a little more full, and there was supposed to be more to it. EDOs had plans for plots and resolutions and things like that, and then Square came in and said, we want to chop it up. We want to have several games, we want to have DLC, and that's what the finished product felt like for Mankind Divided. It felt like there were pieces that had just kind of been torn out of it here and there, and you were given the carcass, essentially. Like, I hate to put it that way because I really wanted to be so hopeful for the game, but you were given this thing that was kind of a shell of a game that had a lot of questions but not a lot of answers, so you assumed that there were going to be follow-up games that were going to answer all of these questions. Well, apparently not anymore. Square has said that they're going to focus on Crystal Dynamics, which is the company that is working on developing the Avengers game, so they're working with Marvel and Crystal Dynamics. Deus Ex is way on the back burner, and I think that's largely because the sales were disappointing, and the sales were disappointing. Why? Oh yeah, that's right, that pre-order bonus thing. Yeah, Square really didn't help themselves or EDOs when they were working on all of this stuff and trying to get all of the PR together. It just kind of started to fall apart pretty early on, and it didn't recover as well as it should have. It got okay critic reviews, like right now on Metacritic it's sitting at 83%. So critically, it did okay. With fans, not so much. All of the stuff on Steam is negative reviews. It's largely reviewed negatively with the community as a whole. It's just left a lot to be desired. And I mean, seriously, the last boss fight in the game is a pretty good explanation as to why. And I will show you that. If you haven't seen it, this is spoiler. Obviously, it's going to be the last part of the game. But take a look at how the final boss fight, if you want to call it that, works out.
McCready, it's over.
Yeah, that's how that went down. I mean, that's actually my playthrough of it. I just felt like that was a letdown too, like one thing after another, and the fact that it left so many plots open, I just don't know. I don't know why you would feel the need to give us that many questions and only a handful of answers. And I know it's to generate interest for the next game, but you could have done that way better. I actually asked if that was the end. I was like, is that really it? Is that the end of the game? Oh, it is? When does the next part come out? Like, are they releasing this one episodically? Is there something I don't know about? What's going on with this? So I'm actually a little disappointed that there won't be another one anytime soon, but I understand why. I see why Deus Ex Mankind Divided didn't do what it was supposed to, and I see why they're like, okay, we can't spend money on that right now. However, Square did this to themselves. Square Enix definitely screw the pooch, so to speak, on this one. And it's disappointing, but that's where we are. They're basically gonna focus on Marvel stuff right now, which is gonna be a cash cow. So I guess at least they're making some money, and maybe afterwards they can throw money back at Deus Ex. Eurogamer actually asked for comment on all of this from Eidos Montreal, and their response was, while we're still working on expanding the Deus Ex universe along with creating new content and update from Deus Ex Mankind Divided, we're also devoting our talents towards working with Crystal Dynamics and Marvel on the Avengers project. It sounds like there might be something eventually, but it also sounds like eventually might be a very long time. So I just kind of wanted to mention that and throw that out there. It's one of the series that I really enjoy and I was a little disappointed by, and I kind of want to see how everybody else is feeling about that. Are you sad that there's not a follow-up to Deus Ex Mankind Divided? Do you think that you were just over it at that point? Did you even buy it? I know a lot of people decided after the pre-order fiasco that they just weren't even going to deal with it. So I know some people turned off before they ever even got started, but I want to know if stuff like this has turned you off of the series. Do you care about the next Deus Ex game? Do you care about all the questions that we got that we didn't have answers to? How do you feel about what Square decided to do with the game itself? Did the game meet all of your expectations? Maybe you loved it. I mean, like I said, critically it did okay, so maybe it ticked all of your boxes and it was fantastic. I'm just going to throw that out there and start a conversation with you guys about what you think and where you want to see Deus Ex go in the future. So, let me know in the comments here on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next time.